Good afternoon, and thank you for coming to our Aurora headquarters here at York Regional Police. I would like to start off this afternoon by thanking the media for all of your coverage on this incident ever since it took place on Saturday evening. Your round-the-clock coverage has been excellent, and I'd also like to thank all of the public who have been sharing all of the information that we've put out so graciously on social media. I'm here today to tell you that as a result of this coverage that's been out there, as a result of all the tweeting, the public has contacted us with tips, and we have recovered the vehicle that was used in this kidnapping. I can tell you that it was last night that the vehicle was recovered in the city of Toronto. It was recovered, unfortunately, without those stolen plates on it. So the plates are still outstanding. The victim in this case is still outstanding, as are our suspects. We want to get this information out there as soon as possible, as we've been pleading with the public to keep their eyes open, watching for this vehicle. And because of your tips, we've located that vehicle. At this point in time, we're very concerned for the safety of Mr. Wanzhen Lu, 22 years old. We know that this incident involved a significant level of violence in that underground parking garage in Markham. He was taken against his will. He was shocked and forced into that van that we've now recovered. But we don't know where Mr. Lu is. So we'd like to ask the public and the media to shift our focus away from the vehicle to the suspect images that we've previously released. They're fairly detailed in what these people were wearing at the time. We know somebody knows who these suspects are. There was 4 of them in total on the night that Mr. Lu was kidnapped. 3 of the images we've put out there. We'd like you to have a very good look at those images. If you know anything about who these people might be, please contact the York Regional Police Major Crimes Bureau, who are overseeing this investigation, at 866-876-5423, extension 7865. Now, I'm sure this update has provided more questions than it has answers, and our investigators, I can tell you, are working tirelessly on this. We have an amazing team of the finest investigators in this province tasked with finding where Mr. Lu is, but we need the public's help. So please, we beg of you to have a look at those images that we've put out and the continuous updates that we're providing. If you have any information, contact our investigators right away. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but please, with the understanding that this is an ongoing, very active, dynamic investigation, and I may not be able to answer a lot of your questions for investigative reasons.
Where was the car in the city located?
All that our investigators are willing to release at this time is that van was located in the city of Toronto. I understand it's a large city, but they're just not going to give any detail as to where it was located.
Have you heard from the kidnappers?
We have not heard from the kidnappers.
Have there been any demands, ransom, money?
To the best of my knowledge, there have not been any demands made at this point in time.
Was that car stolen? Yes, right.
Our focus is on locating the victim in this case, 22-year-old Wanzhen Lu.
So do you have a motive, Andy?
Motive is still part of this ongoing investigation. You know, I can tell you that after watching that video, in the fashion that this was done, a very violent attack. We do believe it was targeted. So, you know, I know the residents in that area are very concerned. But there was 2 people in that underground parking garage, Mr. Lu and a female friend. It does not appear that the female was targeted. She was left there, but Mr. Lu was definitely taken against his will and shoved into that van and drove away.
Is there any criminal lifestyle at all, Mr. Lu?
As far as his background, we're not releasing any information at this point in time, other than to say that he's a Chinese national that's here studying in the city of Toronto.
Is there any sense of why he would be targeted?
You know, we don't know, and that's part of that ongoing investigation. Is why him? Why not the friend that he was with? Why not anybody else? But it does appear that it was targeted, and we want to know why. So if there's anyone who knows Mr. Lu that has not come forward yet with any information on why he may be the target, we'd definitely love to speak with you as well.
Can you tell us what school he was going to?
We're not releasing the name of the school.
That might help, though, as you're asking for help from the public. There may be people that go to his college or university that might be like, oh, wait, he goes to Seneca or he goes here, and then they can help you.
Yeah, the investigators have said they're not going to be releasing the name of the school at this point in time. I can tell you that people have been reaching out that are classmates of his. I know they reached out to some of the media outlets. For people's sake, his English name that he goes by is Peter. That may jog some people's memory, but people who know him are going to know him from class.
Has the victim's parents been contacted?
Stolen?
we're not providing that information at this time. Investigators have asked specifically that it not be released.
Has the parent been contacted by police yet?
Yeah, we've been working very closely with the Chinese consulate. Investigators did that right out of the gate. So they have been in contact with the family who are on their way here from China. I don't know which members of the family are on their way, but family is on their way here. Obviously, they're very concerned for the well-being of their family member.
Is it right now that nobody's contacted, they're not asking for a ransom, like it's just gone? Do you find that odd?
This entire case is odd, Austin. I mean, this type of thing just does not happen in York region. I mean, we're a safe region. Markham's a very safe place. Abductions like this, especially where this level of violence is used, is very rare in this country. So, you know, as far as motive goes, as far as suspects reaching out, they haven't yet. But let me be very clear to the suspects, if they are watching this, now is the time to seek legal counsel and turn yourself in. Now is the time to let Mr. Lu go, put him in a safe location. We're going to get him, and he'll be safe from there. So if the suspects are listening, now is the time to seek legal counsel and turn yourself in.
Is Mr. Lu in any way involved in anything?
We're very concerned for his safety. I can tell you then that the video, the surveillance video, was a very violent abduction. He definitely appeared as though he was taken against his will, and the fact that we don't know where he is, we haven't heard from him or the suspects, is very concerning at this point in time.
Is there any reason to believe that Mr. Lu was involved in any sort of suspicious activity either here or back home?
That'll be part of the ongoing investigation.
When did he arrive in Canada?
I don't have that information.
Do we know what kind of business his family is involved in back home in China?
I don't have any information on the background of his family, other than to say that I know family is en route here from China.
Any indication if this kidnapping, you know, is domestic, or could it be international?
The motive is unknown at this point in time. We'd like someone to tell us. So if anyone has any information on why Mr. Lu was the target of this attack, call us. We'd like to hear from you.
In the area we're talking about high-end cars that this young man would drive, Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces. Do we know where he got his money from? I understand he was a student, so do we know where his money came from?
I don't. I can tell you that the night that he was taken, he arrived at the condominium building in a black Range Rover. That was the vehicle that entered that underground parking garage that he exited and was walking towards where the elevators would be when the kidnapping occurred. As far as his inventory of vehicles, I just don't have that information.
Given that we find out.
I believe he was. I don't know if he was the driver or the passenger, but they entered into that underground parking garage, got out of that Range Rover, and were walking towards where the elevators would be when that black Dodge Caravan came speeding up, and the three men got out and kidnapped him.
Any idea how the caravan followed them into the garage, or how they breached the security?
I don't know how they got into the underground parking garage. Just from spending time down there the last 2 days, I can tell you that once that door opens, if somebody passes their way into there, the door remains open for a period of time before closing again. So they could have just gotten in when the door was open, but again, that's going to be part of the ongoing investigation. And I can tell you there's a lot of security cameras in that area, and as you can see from the images that we've released, there's very good video of the incident itself.
Can you speak to the level of sophistication that was involved in this abduction, from your perspective?
You know, I just don't know what the level of sophistication is at this point in time. You know, the attack itself was very brazen, very violent, and hands-on. They took him, threw him into that vehicle, and left. As far as the build-up to this, I just have no idea on that at this time.
Is there any sign of activity of banking accounts or cell phone? Any idea of activity in the past 48 hours?
Yeah, investigators will be looking at all of that, any sort of credit card activity, bank activity, travel. I can guarantee you we're working with all of our partner agencies, border services, all of the neighboring jurisdictions on this. We just have no sign of Mr. Lu at this point in time. So that's why we need the public's help.
How much information have you been able to glean from the woman who was in the parking garage with Mr. Lu? Has she been giving particularly useful insights?
Yeah, I can tell you that the woman that was with Mr. Lu in the parking garage definitely traumatized by what she witnessed. Following Mr. Lu being loaded into the vehicle, she went and contacted security in the building, who then in turn called 911 and reported to police, and we were there a short time later.
And what's her relationship?
I don't have that
Did
information.
you release the videotape?
We're not releasing the video at the time. Investigators are releasing the still images from it.
What about the car? What information does that give you, investigators?
The car is going to be poured through by our forensic identification unit, again, who are some of the finest in this country. So they're going to be looking for any sort of evidence that might be able to depict or determine who was in that vehicle and lead us to where Mr. Lu might be.
Are there any blood or physical confrontation signs in the car?
I have no details on what's inside the vehicle.
Was the family family able to shed any light on what may have happened here? Are they as shocked as you are about this?
The family is obviously concerned for Mr. Lu's well-being, as are we. As for any of the details that the families provide, I just don't have that.
No one's contacted the family yet? When I say like any ransom or any demands, nothing's been given to the family.
Not that I'm aware of.
Are
no.
they en route over here?
They are en route from China.
Given
That's all for now. We'll do one-on-ones if you'd like.